Let's continue exploring the universe within art and the art behind drafting. I'm your host, OmLedu, and for this episode, I'm going to play another draft so that we can all learn from my mistakes. I also like draft because it lets me go over specific cards and specific masters to hopefully increase our knowledge and in turn increase our skill. So without further ado, let's jump into the draft. Now I will admit that I don't play as many 1v1s as I should, so I might be a little rusty, but that actually works out so that we can learn even more whenever I make mistakes. And then for my masters of choice, I have Diona, Rekt, and Apep. All of these are fairly good and versatile masters. None of them really have any specific requirements, which you always need to keep an eye out for when picking a master in draft. You know, you wouldn't want to pick something like Milloween and then not get any spells to trigger her abilities. Now, admittedly, I don't use a whole bunch of different masters, so I've never actually used Diona and Rekt. You know, they are great, but since I don't have any experience with them, I'm going to cop out and just do Apep again. Apep is always a solid master, either in single player, multiplayer, or in draft. But really, if I wanted to get better at this game, I should pick masters that I'm uncomfortable using. But for our first card, we have Gax the World Bomb, which is a card that I absolutely despise. It is just super duper toxic. Then we have Marshal Shadowfolk, which is a great, kind of expensive assassin. And then we have the Stun Monkey. You know, these are really interesting choices. Malshar and the Stun Monkey are both going to have some specific requirements. Now, Marshal doesn't necessarily need to give invisibility and Nether Step to another Voidborn minion in order to get value out of it. You know, this is kind of a hard choice. Like, honestly, even Gax is a really good choice, especially in, like, draft. But I think I might actually go with Shin Stormstrike because he can hard counter certain single targets by stunning them and shutting them down. The Shadowfolk probably is the best option out of these, to be honest, but in draft, you're always looking out for answers to awkward things. Like, you do need an answer for flying, for horde, for big single targets, and for awkward stuff like the Harbinger or the Colossus. So the Stormstrike ability to stun, you know, I think would give me the most versatility. And then we got the regular assassin, which is even better. I do love the Prowler. Probably not the Zeppelin Bomber, but the assassin and the Prowler are absolutely great. I kind of wish I could take both of these, but I think I'll go with the assassin because he can get a lot of value with his initial triple damage strike, and he can be super aggressive. But like really, like the Prowler is basically the same, it's just he's not invisible. And we could even double up on assassins and get the Brothers of the Void. But I think I'll actually go with the Magnet Bombs in this case. Last draft, you know, I didn't take the Magnet Bombs and I regretted it. But really, all three of these picks are also pretty good. Like the Rocket Scrat is pretty good at countering certain things and cheap to grab bridges. Magnet Bombs does give me an answer for hordes and flying, so I'll go with the Magnet Bombs. And it's giving me tons of Voidborn options. I really should have gone with the Shadow Assassin now that I see some of my other cards. But I'm really torn between the Fire Imp and the Cleaver. The Fire Imp is really great at taking out hordes, but the Cleaver can win you the game all on its own if they don't have an answer for it. You know, the Cleaver is just devastating. It does so much single attack damage. Really, I think it comes down to, do I need AoE or do I need high aggressive single attack? And I think in this case, I just can't pass up the Cleaver. The Cleavers are just too good. Ooh, I really like these options as well. You know, I've liked all of my choices so far. The Armored Scrats are really good against like cleavers and stuff like that. The Stint can be fantastic. You know, it gives me some anti-air, some really good bridge control, a cheap dude. I might even be able to trigger the Outlander tech since I have the Magnet Bombs. Even the Spirit Skeleton is pretty good. Like getting a Spirit on my cleaver would be fantastic. But I think I can't pass up the Stint. You know, it's a ranged unit, so I can have some anti-flying, and it's just really good and cheap. I even like these choices as well. You know, getting Rage on my Cleaver or my Assassin would be devastating. It really wants me to take the Fire Imp. But this Highland Huntress is also really good. She can attack air, and she has that Vicious Strike. I've seen her hard counter a lot of different, like, bulky units. I'm really torn here. All three of these are great options, but I think I'll go with the Huntress, mainly just because she can attack air. And it finally gives me a choice of spells. Okay, so the Frost Feathers is really good against like support units or snipers. Scritillery is just really good all around. It can help me take bridges and kill like an area of stuff. I probably won't take Bladestar because in solos it can be kind of bad. So I'm really torn between Frost Feathers and the Scritillery. I think I'll take the Frost Feather just because it's cheap. You know, that'll help out my mana curve while also giving me an answer for snipers and stuff. But I'm probably going to regret not taking Scritillery. Oh, yeah, see, I already regret it, because, like, it gave me a rammer, and I'm already really aggressive with the assassin and the cleaver. Ooh, like, but all of these are really good. The cannon roller can be a hard counter to slow-moving dudes. The skeletons give me a really good bridge grab. This is a good example of deciding your win condition. Like, the rammer is really aggressive, the cannon roller is really defensive, and the skeleton crew is really controlling. You know, it lets me control the bridges. But I think in this case, I'm already really aggressive. I have a cleaver and an assassin, so I think I'm going to go with the rammer and try to be aggressive. Now, I never use aggressive decks, so I'm not very good with that style, but we're going to go with the rammer and just try to do it. Ooh, and there's two good choices here. Like, I hate Stun Blast, it's a horrible card in my opinion, but the Reboomer and the Shield Guard of Light are fantastic. The Reboomer is especially good in draft, because sometimes people just don't have an answer for it, but it's really hard to pass up the Shield Guard. He can just win you the game all by himself. And I will say, this last pick is really unfortunate. I wish that this was a cheaper kill spell, because it's just way too expensive for what it does without the Slitherbind. So the Rocket Scrat is pretty good at grabbing bridges, and the Curse Bearer would be good against high health targets. I'm already good against single high health targets with the Stun Monkey and the Cleaver and the Shield Guard and the Assassin. Really, I need another kill spell, but that kill spell is just way too expensive. So I guess I'll go with the Rocket Scrat to give me more bridge control. Really, I should pick the kill spell because beggars can't be choosers, and it's what I need, plus I'm trying to be aggressive. And so this is my deck for the draft. Let me know in the comments what cards you would have picked differently. I do wish I'd have picked the Shadow Assassin instead of the Shin Stormstrike. He looks kind of out of place in this deck, and I ended up with tons of Voidborn. Plus I'm really aggressive, so the Shadow Assassin would have really helped that out. But I also don't have any air, and I only have one kill spell, and it's kind of bad. So I wish I could have gotten a little bit more like flying or another spell, but let's try it out and see how it works. And the first game in draft is always against a bot so that you can kind of get used to cards that you don't know how to use. And I will admit, on top of me not using a variety of different masters, I also don't use a variety of different cards. Like, I don't think I've ever used this Rocket Scrat. I've rarely used the Assassin, I've never used the Huntress, so this should be a really good learning experience. And that's the thing about draft, is that it forces you to use cards that you're not necessarily comfortable using. And the more cards you use, the better you will be at the game. Using a variety of masters and cards will quickly broaden the knowledge that you have of the game. And the more you use different cards, you will know firsthand what they're good against and what they're bad against. So whenever you play against them, you will immediately know how to counter or how to react. Now this bot does have a wall and a heal puff, so I gotta be really careful if I am trying to be super aggressive. We're gonna play the Shield Guard and see how he performs. I've seen him absolutely decimate things in draft, and even in standard play. He's very used in like all different modes. Like, he can just smash things, and he has like 800 health, so he's really hard to take down. Now, since I do have a lot of expensive and or aggressive cards, I have to be careful. I'm not sure, like the biggest thing about aggressive play that I just don't know is how much you need to focus on bridge control and how much you need to just ignore it. Like, you still can lose through Mana Frenzy if your aggressive plays don't work, but normally I play controlling, where like I just keep the bridges, and then win through Mana Frenzy. So I'm really inexperienced with using aggressive decks. So I'm not too sure when I should use things and where, but at least against the bot it worked out just fine because the Shield Guard of Light is just too strong. But that is one thing to quickly touch on, is that there are basically 3 different styles of deck. There's controlling, where you want to just constantly take the bridges, and win through Mana Frenzy. There's aggressive, where you want to kill your opponent before either player reaches Mana Frenzy. And then there's defensive, where you kind of want to win through Mana Advantage, where you want to play these defensive units that just build up and build up and build up until it's just so overwhelming that you control the bridges for a long time, or that you just flat out kill your opponent. So these are nice things to keep in mind when you go to build or edit your own decks, is what style are you going for? Are you trying to be defensive to build up, gain mana advantage, and then have an uncontrollable horde of massive units come in? Or are you trying to be aggressive with rammers and damage buildings and stuff like that? Or are you trying to be controlling and just constantly cap the bridges over and over? But as for this game, this isn't looking very good. You know, he has the Crystal Construct, which has amazing health. He has the Snake Druid, which is going to be extremely annoying. He even has a Wizard Puff, which is super horrible. I don't really have any Horde, and I have very few cheap cards, so that Wizard Puff is going to constantly gain amazing value. Like, it's going to make me misplay a lot, because I'm not going to want to play my expensive cards, and I don't really have cheap cards, and my only Horde is the Magnet Bombs, and even my Master can't kill it fast enough. I was really hoping that the Master could kill it, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So it just got, I mean, right there it got tremendous value, you know, and now I have to kill this Mana Puff, or it's going to give him even more value. This is definitely not looking good. You know, my Assassin did deal a decent chunk of damage to him, so hopefully I can just get in there and kill him. But I have to be really, really careful about the Snake Druid. You know, I definitely don't want to send the Rammer in and just have it get trapped by the Snake Druid. I also have to be careful with his Shadow Assassin. You know, just like my Assassin, it can deal massive, massive damage. Like you can see right here, it's just melting me. Like I'm down to 730 now. That's really, really not good. And even his bats are going to cause me tons of grief. I really wish I'd have gotten a flying unit. That would have been really helpful. But the main issues are going to be the Shadow Assassin, the Snake Druid, and the Wizard Puff. Like all three of those are super strong into what I'm trying to do. It's super hard, especially when I just have one spell. You know, that spell is basically dedicated to the Snake Druid. And I sent in the Rammer there. I probably shouldn't have, but I was really hoping it would distract a little bit so that the Shield Guard of Light could get in there and at least kill the Wizard Puff. You know, but it looks like he has the Shadow Assassin and the Wizard Puff. The Magnet Bombs didn't even make contact. So I'm going to try to distract the Assassin, kill the Wizard Puff with Swarmers. Oh, but the Assassin just one-shotted the building and then turned around, and then... Ah, that's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. That's over. It's over. Even if I kill this Assassin, I can't kill these Juggernaut dudes. That was crazy. Like, the Wizard Puff can attack so fast, and the Assassin just deals so much damage. That was really bad misplay on my part. That was really frustrating. You know, even in normal modes, I hate the Wizard Puff. I hate going against it. I even talked about how much value you can get out of the Wizard Puff in my latest video of what to craft for the new player. But you can just get so much value out of the Wizard Puff by making your opponent misplay. Oh, he even had Bara the Witch Wolf. Like, he had 4 legendaries. Again, like, are the cards just totally random in draft? Like, I always thought it gave you a specific number of rarity at least. But it seems to be just kind of random. You know, that was a really strong deck. That was a struggle. I was probably going to lose that even if I didn't misplay there at the end. You know, dealing with the Wizard Puff and the Snake Druid is just really hard. Even thinking back, I really don't know what I could have done different. Like, maybe the Cleaver would have been a better bet. At least it could one-shot the Assassin. But to be honest, I really don't know. But just then, I really wish my Rocket Scrat had have waited like an additional second so it could have taken out those crossbowmen at least. That would have been really, really good value if it could have hit all 5 of those. My Shield Guard is going to take a lot of damage from those crossbow dudes. I probably should have played the Huntress to take out the crossbow dudes, to like lower the damage that I'm receiving, because that Crystal Construct just has so much health. Now it does look like he's overplaying a bit, so he might be low on mana, so I'm going to send the Rammer in there to hope that he's out of mana. Oh, and he has the Freezy Skeleton, of course. You know, that is a great counter to Rammers. The Freezy Skeleton's just really obnoxious in general, even in Constructed. I hate playing against that. It looks like my Huntress will be able to take it out. Oh, but it moved at the last second, and now my Huntress is frozen. You know, at least my Assassin will be able to take that out, and now I control the bridges. Although, again, I'm not sure how much value I'll actually get out of bridge control since I'm trying to be aggressive. Like, if you play Rammers or deal damage to the opposing Master Tower, you're basically turning mana into damage. But that becomes irrelevant if you hit Mana Frenzy. You know, then if you damage them, you wasted all of that mana. And so, if I'm trying to kill them before Mana Frenzy, then any mana that I spend taking a bridge and not dealing damage is actually wasted. You know, and that's the thing about playing aggressively is just so different than normal. You know, like normally you just want to like control the bridges, whether you're playing defensive or controlling. You know, you still want to probably hit Mana Frenzy, but usually aggro decks just can't control the bridges because they're focused on dealing damage, not killing what's on the field. You know, so a lot of times aggro decks want to win before Mana Frenzy, And so, in that case, capturing the bridges is fairly useless. But it looks like my shield guard is going to get tons of value this game. He's taken out so many units already. I do need to be careful of these crossbow dudes, though. Even though they're weak, their damage really stacks up when they have, like, swordsmen and things like that in front of them. But these mana chasers from Apep's ability are going to be super, super good. Volco can't hit air. It also looks like he overplayed a bit. He played that minion at the top for 5 mana, so I assumed he was out of mana, is why I sent the rammer in. And sure enough, he's going to take a ton of damage from this, and it looks like it's over. You gotta be really careful about overplaying, especially when you're playing an aggro deck. They can punish you severely for overplaying. And that is another thing about aggro decks, is that not only is it different to use an aggro deck, but it's also different to play against an aggro deck. Like bridge control matters even less when you're facing true aggro decks that are just trying to kill you before Mana Frenzy. And overplaying against an aggro deck can cause you just to lose instantly, whereas overplaying against a normal deck, like a controlling or defensive deck, can just let them build up a little bit in exchange for giving you more experience, so it's not as bad. But against aggro decks, the game is usually over before Mana Frenzy one way or the other, because either you successfully defend against the aggressive assault, and they invested so much mana into failing that you win because you have so much mana on the field left over, or they succeed and flat out kill you. Either way, it changes the rules of the game if you are playing against or playing with an aggro deck. So that's a really important thing when you're learning this game, is to identify if your opponent is using an aggressive deck or not as quickly as you can, because it changes the rules. If they're using like bazooka scrats and rammers and things that only attack buildings, then bridge control usually matters less, because they have less things that can actually attack what's on the field. So usually you will have a stronger field presence, which then will translate into experience. But anyway, as for this game, they do have the Veilstalker, which is super scary, but I do have some answers for it. The Shield Guard of Light and the Cleaver should be really good into the Veilstalker. Now that Shield Puff could cause some problems, so I definitely do want to kill it as soon as I can. A lot of my things are very slow attackers, so I definitely don't want to let shields get out of control. I tried to play into the pocket so that my monkey wouldn't take any damage, but I couldn't really help it because I was about to burn mana. I did manage to kill the Shield Puff, but that building might cause me some grief. They didn't really play it in the best of positions, and I did manage to take it down, so that's good. Hopefully they will be out of mana, because that building is really expensive. So now I can use my rammer, the stun monkey will stun the master, and let my rammer get some really good hits in. This is super duper nice. The Bara will target the rammer, but hopefully my assassin can sneak in there and kill that. Oh, the Veilstalker turned invisible right as my assassin was gonna get her. That's super duper sad, but at least the assassin dealt really good face damage. They're down to 550, so this game should be in the bag. I did misplay right there though. I should have played the wall to distract the Bara, and that's something I've noticed watching these replays, is that I am misusing Apep's ability. The timer on his ability doesn't actually start until you play the free card that it gave you, and I have a bad habit of holding onto the cards looking for the perfect moment to use them, but I'm actually losing value by doing that. And that's a really beneficial thing about watching your replays. I would have never noticed that I was doing it that bad while in game, because there's just so much going on. It's hard for me to actually watch the timers and, coordinate that with what I'm doing. But watching the replays, I can definitely tell that I'm losing out on value by not using his cards fast enough. So if you want to get better at this game, definitely watch your replays. It can show you stuff that you do wrong that you don't even notice you're doing. But this should be it. The rammer just needs to get a single hit. I really probably should have played it earlier as soon as I had 4 mana. It's just so ingrained in me from playing controlling and defensive decks to wait until I have lots of mana to actually play stuff. And that's yet another thing that changes when you're using an aggressive deck. Like normally, bridge control is all that matters. You want to be conservative with your mana, etc., etc. But all of that gets turned on its head and thrown out the window when you're trying to be aggressive and kill them before Mana Frenzy. So that is definitely more things I need to keep in mind whenever I use aggressive decks in draft. But really quick, if you're liking this video, don't forget to like and leave a comment. Tell me what your favorite card is, or just tell me hi. Not only does your support allow me to continue making these videos, but I also won't know if you like this sort of content unless you tell me. So again, don't forget to like and leave a comment. It means a bunch, and I love you all. But now on to the 5th game. I have 3 wins. Let's see if we can keep this a-going. As long as I get 4 wins, I'm generally happy, because that means that I beat 3 humans and lost to 3 humans. So it's like a win-loss ratio of 50-50. But of course, I would love to make it all the way to the top and get 12 wins before I lose out. Getting the legendary prize would make me so super duper happy. But that swarmer building is probably going to cause me some trouble. You know, I don't have a good spell to get rid of it. I don't really have good horde control either. And that's the thing, you know, I wish it had given me a better spell. I really do not like the frost feathers. I don't know how to use it very well. Oh, and there's that scrutillery. See, I wish I'd have got the scrutillery instead of the frost feathers. You know, I've seen frost feathers used so much in competitive that I thought maybe I could make use of it. And like maybe I should have just used the frost feathers on the swarmers or something. You know, but they have 2 really good spells right off the bat that really gave them tons of value. This is a fairly decent push, especially with the assassin being invisible, so I'm going to throw in my rammer and hope for the best. Oh, they do have the storm tamer though. I really have to watch out for that. Oh, they also have a cleaver. That's pretty gross. Yeah, so I definitely have to watch out for the storm tamer, definitely have to watch out for the cleaver, definitely have to watch out for that swarmer building. This is going to be an interesting game. You know, hopefully I can stun this cleaver with Stun Monkey and take it out. Oh, and they even have Chain Lightning. They have 3 fantastic spells. That's super not fair. You could have given me 1 of those 3 spells. Like, come on now. Ooh, and that Boom Buggy is super bad. Ah, jeez. See, again, I wish I had spells. You know, normally I can just take out the Boom Buggy with a spell, but not even the Frost Feathers can kill it. That's super sad and unfortunate. Ah, this is so bad. This is going to cause me so much trouble. And there's that swarmer building again. Maybe I should just use the frost feather on the swarmer building in the future. Because Apep really can't handle, you know, that many targets and stuff like that. And then the scrutillery versus my cleaver is going to be really bad. I really wish I had a little bit more AoE, and I desperately wish I had a better spell. Especially for this opponent. You know, they have a bunch of different horde units. Then they have like the cleaver and the boom buggy, you know, really, really high health, high damage units. Plus they have 3 spells to control what's going on. They have the storm tamer to take out my rammer. You know, they're putting so much pressure on the bridges. This is going to be a struggle. Oh, but they did play the storm tamer, so maybe I could get the rammer in there. Definitely not right now. Oh, but that musketeer is going to be horrible. That's a super hard counter against like my assassins or my cleaver. This is definitely going to be a struggle. They have really good counters into a lot of the things I'm trying to do, and I really got to stop that cleaver from smacking me in the face so much. Yeah, see, like, cleavers can just be so punishing. And then now they have that swarmer building again. I can capture the bridge with the stint at least. But this push does look decent. You know, my cleaver and my shield guard and my huntress now are all at basically full health. I'm going to Frost Feather to try to get rid of that Boom Buggy, because it could, you know, really mess my units up, especially if they play something in front of it. You know, but hopefully they can kill it really quickly. Oh, but they played the dragon. No! Oh, that dealt so much damage. That totally shut down my push. You know, maybe they're out of mana, so I'll throw in my rammer. Oh, and I forgot about the Storm Tamer. No! Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's so super sad. Now I have to kill this dragon somehow. Hopefully I can stun it with the Stun Monkey. And, you know, we can use these Mana Chasers, maybe? I need to distract that Storm Tamer and get rid of it. Let's see. Alright, we killed the Storm Tamer. No, we didn't kill the Storm Tamer. How did that not kill the Storm Tamer? Oh, my assassin hit the Holy Fire. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. Those swarmers are just going to finish me off. Oh. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, that cleaver. Yeah, I think I'm dead. Oh, this is so sad. Oh, this is so sad. Man, it was looking so good too, and then now it just definitely does not look good anymore. Oh man. Oh, and that cleaver killed my assassin too. I just can't even build up units. Oh, it did give me the spear throwers. Okay, I can take out the cleaver. I can take out the musketeer. You know, I can probably take out this. The scrutillery is going to be super annoying. Maybe he's invested all of his mana. Let's just throw the rammer in there and hope for the best. Oh, and I forgot about the Storm Tamer again. Oh, jeez. Ah, this is so bad. I forgot about the Storm Tamer twice. Yeah, and I'm dead. He has too many spells. He can just kill me now. Ah, that's so sad. Oh, but how did the Cleaver kill the Storm Tamer? Usually the Storm Tamer can pick up the Cleaver. That's really weird. How interesting. Yeah, I'm just being super aggressive now because it's my only hope. Whenever he cycles back to Chain Lightning, I'm dead. Or the Scrotillery, either one. You know, so I just gotta play stuff. You know I'm dead, but I can block this Scrotillery with my Apep building. He's at 270. If I can just get a rammer in there, I win. You know, I'm at 10. I can shut down this Cleaver. I'll play the rammer. Oh, no, there's the Chain Lightning. I'm dead. Oh, that's so sad. That was close. You know, I tried really hard, but I forgot about that Storm Tamer twice. You know, that was super punishing. And then the Dragon killing all of my big units all at once. Ah, that's super sad. This looks like a tier deck, except that it's really expensive. Like, in draft, though, you can kind of get away with your deck being a little more expensive, since people can't necessarily have a balanced deck. But all of those cards were really punishing and really good, and him having 3 spells was just super destructive. But really, it was my fault for misplaying. You know, I shouldn't have played such a big thing on one bridge, you know, when he had his perk 3 to play the Dragon, and I should have remembered about the Storm Tamer. Dun dun dun. Oh, what the? We're playing the same person. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, I can do this, though. I know what he's using. I know what I need to do differently. I gotta keep that Storm Tamer in mind. You know, I'm just gonna Frost Feather this building. Screw it. I'm gonna see if this actually helps out, because those Swarmers just put so much freaking pressure on the bridge. Oh, and I used the Accursed spell to shut down a lot of the Frost Feathers. I never even thought to do that. That's super interesting. And look how many Swarmers there are now. Like, jeez. Hopefully these Magnet Bombs can kill them. Alright, this is looking okay. This is really good. Okay, those Magnet Bombs dealt incredible damage. That was super awesome. Oh, but that Cleaver is going to kill my Shield Guard. Oh, what to do? Maybe I can play the Stun Monkey in the pocket, and he can stun the Cleaver. I'll take a hit at least, but hopefully this will keep the Cleaver locked down. Let's see. I'm not actually... Okay, yeah, so he can still attack in between stuns. That's really unfortunate. Does that actually speed up the Cleaver's attack? I can't tell because the Cleaver's so slow in general. That definitely is unfortunate. But this should be okay with the Stun Monkey and the Cleaver. Oh, the Stun Monkey stunned the Musketeer. That's huge. Oh, that is super huge. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, man, and they played the Storm Tamer, so I can play the Rammer up at the top really quick. This should be good, and the Storm Tamer is dead. Oh, this is looking fantastic. Okay, I got the Rammer in there. The Assassin is creeping up. I would really prefer the Assassin to kill that unit, but, you know, at least he'll do some really good damage to the Master. I probably shouldn't have used the Frost Feathers, but I was just kind of hoping that it could kill the ranged unit. That Accursed spell is going to shut down my Cleaver for a bit. That Boom Buggy is going to finish him off. Oh, that was a good push, though. I dealt more than 50%. You know, they're down to 1,000. That was an amazing push. And see, yeah, I should have saved my Frost Feathers for that building. I should have used it against that building, because I really hate being overwhelmed by the Swarmers. Plus, that Boom Buggy is so hard to play into. I really don't know what to do. At least the Magnet Bombs took out most of it. And we killed the Boom Buggy. That's huge. It did manage to take out my Huntress, though, which is sad. They have a Cleaver coming in. I'll use my own Cleaver. I managed to redirect it with the building at the very last second. That is huge, because now my Cleaver can take him out. Okay, this is looking pretty good. You know, I do have to watch out for that Chain Lightning, you know, but it's looking pretty good. He's at 500, so all I have to do is wait for him to play the Storm Tamer, and I should be able to get that Rammer in there. And I was really hoping the Frost Feathers were faster and would actually kill the skeletons, but they were too slow, and they didn't kill the skeletons, so that was totally useless. So I definitely should just save that spell for the building. You know, I've tried it 2 different times, and it didn't do anything, whereas with the building, at least if it does some damage, it'll, you know, prevent some of the Swarmers. You know, they did play that Accursed spell a little bit too late. My Stun Monkey managed to take out the Musketeer. Hopefully the Stun Monkey can take out that brother. He stunned it at least. The Huntress will be able to kill it. That ranged unit is going to give me some grief. I played the Stint too far back. Yeah, that ranged unit killed both of them. Oh, and they have a Cleaver at the top. Let's play the Shield Guard of Light and the Assassin. I guess we're going to take a lot of damage, but it should be okay. I just need to get a decent push going. The Scrotillery didn't really do anything, so that's super duper good. You know, I just gotta kind of stack up units. I have 3 pretty full health units on the field now. You know, the Swarmer building is gone. It looks like he's probably at max mana since he played the Boom Buggy in the back there. That is going to be really punishing. Oh, especially with the Chain Lightning. I played right into that. That is super sad. But, you know, we're just going to see. I played the Frost Feathers again at a bad time, probably. Ooh, there's the dragon. That's not good. You know, but that is a lot of mana. If they would just play the Storm Tamer, I could sneak the Rammer in there. Okay, we're still pushing, though. The Shield Guard of Light's really good. I'm going to throw the Rammer behind, so even if they do play the Storm Tamer, you know, it can only pick one. There's the Storm Tamer, and it looks like it's over. Yes, look at that. All right, I redeemed myself. That was fantastic. You know, I didn't misplay quite as much that time. I just misused my spell over and over, but I learned from it. You know, I've learned more how to not use the Frost Feathers. You know, that was super awesome. It was kind of annoying that I had to play the same person twice in a row. You know, that shouldn't be a thing, even if there's no players playing draft. You know, it should do something else. But, you know, it was cool. We went 1-1. You know, I redeemed myself. That was super duper awesome. And that was my 4th win, so even if I lose this, at least my win-loss ratio versus humans was 50-50. But for this game, it looks like I'm facing against Tronveir. That's super cool. I absolutely love Tronveir. He's probably my favorite master. A lot of people think that he's OP, and honestly, I used to think the same until I actually played with him. You know, he is very versatile because he has so many different abilities, like he can summon ghosts, and he can freeze things, and he can damage things. But because he can only do one of those things at a time, and you can't actually pick, like, which one you do, it makes him very reasonable. But for this push, I really want to kill the Stun Monkey, because the Jolly Giant's going to protect him, and the Stun Monkey's just going to wail on me. But it looks like I'm struggling. You know, I'm going to play this Exploding Scrat thing and hope that it kills the monkey. Okay, it killed the monkey. That's the important part. So the Jolly Giant didn't really do a whole lot since I managed to kill the Stun Monkey. You know, they only did, like, you know, 60% on the cleaver, so that's pretty good. Oh, that skeleton horde is going to kill my cleaver, though, and might kill my Stun Monkey, too. I'm going to throw in the Rammer since the assassin's about to make contact. Oh, but he played the Freezy rune. That is so super duper sad. It also looks like he has an experienced sniper. I definitely can't let that go unchecked, but it shouldn't be too terribly strong into me. Those skeletons, however, are probably going to give me some trouble. You know, that skeleton horde is just absolutely huge, and I don't really have that much AoE. I'm going to try to play in the pocket to let the experienced sniper come up a little bit so that I can kill it. And now that it's here, we can kill it with the shield guard. And that'll also give us some good health on the field. He also has a regular sniper too. Oh, and a Chisma boomstick. Oh, that's pretty bad. You know, it's not great since I don't have that much horde, but the main problem is that it just runs away so much. I'm just going to kill it with the frost feathers. Oh, and that was a really good bridge buddies too, because it's going to redirect my cleaver. Now my cleaver's going to die. That's super duper sad. And that does show the strength of Tronveir if they get the right runes at the right time. Like he had the ice rune right as I was hitting him with the rammer and the assassin. Then he had the ghost rune right as I was trying to hit something with the cleaver. So he did get really lucky with the order of his runes. But that also means that next up he has the wind rune. If I was him, I would probably kill the assassin with it, but we shall see. Now I did get the mana chasers from Apep's ability. I love seeing these things. They are super duper fantastic. He also played the Jolly Giant way back in the pocket, so he should be able to support it, so that's kind of scary. I will play the Rammer though, because the Rammer can actually hit the Jolly Giant since it has taunt. You know, so this should make quick work of that. Ah, but the Chisma Boomstick is going to kill my mana chasers. That is so super sad. And my Rammer just decides to run away from the Jolly Giant. That is super unfortunate. I really did not expect that to happen, or I would have played the stint on the other side, you know, but at least I have the Stun Monkey to take out the Jolly Giant. He does have the Shield Guard of Light, which is absolutely terrifying. And I really want to get rid of that Chisma. I really hate the Chisma so much, and I just don't have a good spell for it. You know, I keep misusing the Frost Feathers. I really hate that spell. So, mistakes have been made, but that is okay. We are killing the Shield Guard of Light slowly but surely with our own Shield Guard. We are now almost killing the Chisma, but of course the Sniper takes out my Monkey before it can attack. That is really, really unfortunate, especially since the Sniper has the Frost Shield. Now they have a Giant there too. I don't even know. I don't even know. And of course, Tronveir has yet another rune to deal with my rammer, and maybe even to take out my shield guard. That's super sad. Golly. He is surprisingly getting great value out of that Jolly Giant. You know, normally, in my experience, the Jolly Giant kind of sucks. But he's using it really, really well. Luckily, my exploding strat should be able to kill these guys, you know, and retake this bridge, maybe, hopefully. I'll play the Stun Monkey just to make sure. Yeah, that Skeleton Horde is just causing me all kinds of grief. And then the Chisma support is really frustrating. And then I just can't I can't use that Frost Feather very well. And this has been a good example of how some spells will take you some getting used to. You know, don't just use a new spell and expect to get incredible value out of it. Like anything, it takes practice, but especially with spells, spells take more practice. And I played my building absolutely horribly. You know, I'm not going to get any value out of that building, sadly. I did play the rammer so that I could ram his taunty Frost Shield guy, but he also has a rammer as well. That's super weird. I haven't seen that all game. I definitely need to take that out. Finally took out the Chisma. That Skeleton Horde is just giving him tons of value, though. Like, I really maybe should have taken the Fire Imp, you know, I guess. It would also help if I stopped misusing my spell. You know, I've used that spell like 4 or 5 times this game, and it hasn't gotten me any value whatsoever. You know, so I really need to learn the spells better. And the Chisma pops up yet again. It seems like I just killed that thing, and it's already back because it just runs away for so long. That is super, super unfortunate. He has the rammer again. That's not good. I definitely need to stop that. I need to kill the Chisma. Okay, we took out the rammer pretty okay. I am really low on health, though. I definitely need to stop that. You know, he's gotten incredible value out of that Skeleton Horde, out of his runes. He's played his runes really, really well. You know, even the Jolly Giant, he's gotten really good value out of. And I am pretty far behind on experience, and he's about to hit Mana Frenzy. That is super duper scary. I need to hold these bridges and hope that I can catch up. You know, maybe this rammer can actually get in there. Oh, and he plays a Musketeer out of nowhere. Where did that Musketeer come from? That's going to hard counter my Cleaver. I would have won right there if it wasn't for that Musketeer. Oh, that is... then the Frost Rune. Oh, that's so disgusting. We both hit Mana Frenzy, but it's over. That Musketeer won the game. Oh my... that was absolutely disgusting. Where did that Musketeer come from? Oh my jeez. That is so sad. Yeah, because there's just no way. Like, maybe I can come back, but of course that shield guard pushes me off of the bridge. That's so fantastic. And then just more rune spam. Jeez. Like... That's disgusting. That's so, so sad. Well, Musketeer out of left field for the game. That is really unfortunate. Now, granted, I didn't play that great that game. You know, I kept playing into the Skeleton Horde. The Skeleton Horde is just really strong into me in general, and I kept misplaying my Frost Feathers. You know, honestly, it would have been better if I just didn't play the Frost Feather. Oh, Apep gave me the Musketeer, and he immediately copied it with that Outlander Legendary. Wow. I have to be the unluckiest person to ever play this game. Because if he'd have played anything else, anything at all, my Cleaver would at least damage it. You know, if it could have killed it, I would have won the game right there. But if it could at least hurt it, then I would have at least held the bridge for a little bit longer. Even with the Frost Rune, it would have been more okay, but that Musketeer just totally won the game, and Apep is the one that gave it to me. That is super duper sad. How unlucky. But at least I got a card out of my rewards, so that's like I bought a token. You know, I really can't complain. But anyway, that's all we got for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned from my mistakes. Let me know in the comments what you did or didn't like about the video, and if you liked it, don't forget to like, favorite, share, and subscribe. Your support means a lot. I can't keep making these videos without it, so I love you all. Thank you so, so much. But until next time, I've been your host, OmLedu, here to share a draft with you, and reminding you, as always, don't forget to have fun. Bye-bye.